Good afternoon, all David Singer Enterprises and Gupta Enterprises clients. Please put yourself on mute if you haven't already. We're going to start our presentation today. Hello? Okay, guys, put yourself on mute, please. Okay, let me see if I can't put everybody on mute. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so before we get started, I want to talk about this coming Saturday. I can't believe it's here already. I am so excited. It is our seminar. We're doing Agenda 2. And who cares what the number is? Really, we're going to talk about some cool stuff. We're going to talk about doing a group huddle. I'm going to show you a form that we fill out during active hours where everybody has access to it. They write notes on it so that it can be discussed in front of everybody at the next staff meeting or group huddle. I'm going to talk about hiring, how to hire, how to train, how to set bonus structures, talk about payroll a little bit. We're going to talk about a production graph to make sure that you're maximizing production where medically necessary. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to do a dinner lecture, which is what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to go through every step in person this Saturday. This is the greatest, quickest way to add 15 to 20 new patients into your office at 3 times a week to give you a quick boost. It's easy, it's guaranteed, and it uses your existing patients who love you to help complete the task. I'm trying to think what else we got going on. How to do a library lecture from soup to nuts, from contact to close. Going to be some really powerful stuff. How to read an EOB. What's the difference between in and out of network? Just really good stuff. I'm excited, and I can't wait to see everybody. You know, I'm a Jersey boy, so I'm going to see my peeps. So let's get started today. Today is the dinner lecture, and like I was just saying, you could increase the number of your patient visits, increase your book number very quickly by getting this off the ground. It takes about 3 weeks to get done, maybe 4 weeks for your first one. You may want to give yourself an extra week to do so. But this is an internal marketing event that always gives you a boost. So this is something that you would want to do, I would say 3 to 4 times a year. You could do them more, but then they kind of grow long in the tooth a little bit. Your patients come to expect it, and it's less of a prize or a way of congratulating them on their success, and it just becomes commonplace, and that's not how you want this, because it's going to affect the outcome on how many people show and also how many people you close. So what you do for the dinner lecture is you make a list. This is how you start off. So the first thing you do is you make a list with your staff during the morning huddle of patients that are just, they love you to death. They could be with you for a long time. They could be new patients. But it is that patient that is constantly telling you how happy they are that they found you and the difference that you've made in their life. Oftentimes, right after a reeval, when you're using the progress graph, and you show people that they're making progress and decrease them in treatment program, they just love you to death. They're like, wow, this place is very organized. I'm on track. I know I'm on track. I see my progress. And this is everything that they said it would be. And that's the patient that you want to approach with this. Now, here's the script. And actually, before we get to the script, let's go in order. So put these people onto a list, and you want to list about 20 people because you're going to invite them with a guest, and assuming everybody shows up, you'll have 40 people in the audience. Now, typically that's not the case. You'll have probably about 10 of those 20 people that you invite have conflicts or be unable to make it. So those 10 people that are still remaining will bring a guest. You'll have about 20. 20 to 30 people in this lecture is perfect. Over that, it gets a little difficult because it's hard to control the room. So in the morning huddle, you're going to evoke the names of patients that adore you. As you're going through your roster for the day, you tell your staff prior to let me know as we're going through patients who would be a good candidate to go to the dinner lecture. So chances are you may have more than 20 names, and that's great. What you will do is you'll revise that list and cut it down to 20, and then have 10. Say that you have 30 names, you'll have 10 for your next dinner lecture. Or backups, but you'll have your list. You revise that list, and then you have to go to a restaurant, and you're doing this, simultaneously with obtaining those 20 names from your staff. And it may take you a couple of group huddles to get a good working list of patients that you want to invite. So you want to go to a restaurant in town that's not upscale, but upper scale. So the reason why I say that is the nicer restaurant that you have and are able to make a deal with, the more likely that the patient will be wooed and odd when you give them the invitation. Like, ooh, so we just had our last dinner lecture at a place called Piccola Italia. It's a 5-star Southern Italian cuisine, or Northern Italian cuisine. Very expensive. And you know what? I never in a million years thought that they would work a price out that was affordable to me to have us come in, and they were. So when we were able to put that on the invitation, people were like, ooh, Piccola Italia, that place is great. So that increases your show rate and certainly people's ability to want to be there. So what are you going to go say to the restaurant, and what do you need from them? What you're looking for is a appetizer, either soup or salad. Only those two. You don't want to put a plate of appetizers on the table. So either soup or salad, an entree, limited to 3 selections on their menu, and dessert with a beverage, non-alcoholic beverage included. So, and you want that for about $18.95. So I have a client who is in Hoboken, which is very upscale and very expensive, with lots of nice restaurants with not a lot of space. So he was having difficulty finding a good restaurant at that price, which I could understand. So you might have to go up to as high as $24.95, but you shouldn't have to go up higher than that. So this 5-star restaurant was able to do it for $18.95. I think it's because I've given them so much business in the past, me personally. She's a gym member, the owner, so I think she wanted to work with us, and I was able to get a great price. But find a restaurant that's able to do that for you. Prior to Piccola Italia, we were doing it in the local Hula Hands. Now, Hula Hands is okay, but think about the wow factor when the patient gets the invitation. I'm not sure that there's a lot of wow with Hula Hands. So you're looking, that's how you choose a restaurant. You're looking for a little bit of a wow factor or a unique factor. You want to keep it American cuisine. If you get too ethnic, you may turn off some people who won't want to come or aren't willing to try new food. So you want to keep it American fare. Steakhouses are great. Italian restaurants are great. Here in the Northeast, we have a lot of mom and pop type restaurants. And I love going to them because they have their own personality. So when you put it on the invitation, people are like, oh, that place is charming. Anyway, you definitely want to put it in a restaurant that has some appeal. Also, that has a liquor license. I know that's funny, but it's true that, if let's say you have a woman teacher and you're invited, she's your patient, you're inviting, maybe her husband wants to have that evening beer with dinner, and he doesn't have that opportunity at the restaurant you choose. That may affect his willingness to want to go that night. So you're not paying for alcohol, and it's not a party. But some people like to have a cocktail with dinner or a glass of wine, and preventing them from being able or having the option to do so may affect your attendance. So you go to the restaurant, you tell them what you're looking for. If they can't do it for that price, you ask them if they cut out the dessert. What can they do that price for? And you're looking for 3 meals. One should be a vegetarian option. One should be a seafood, and one should be a chicken or a steak. Something that's amenable to everybody's diet. And if it could be a vegan pasta, even better. Is that possible? I'm not sure if that's even possible. I think so. You can tell I'm not a vegan. So once you have your restaurant chosen and the date, now you want the date. This is real important. You don't really want to choose it on a Thursday or a Friday night. One, people have plans on a Friday night. And 2, if you do it on a Thursday, which typically is a good night for patients to come out, it's not a good night for you. And the reason is you want to allow enough time after that dinner lecture to get people into your office immediately that week. You don't want to have to wait. So if you have people come on a Thursday night and they're highly interested in coming in, you only have Friday to get them to come in and convert that week, and chances are they may have plans on Friday. And now you're going 2, 3, 4, 5 days out. And the longer out you schedule any patient, you decrease your chances of them actually coming in. So as you can see here on screen, I apologize. I'm not sure if it's just my screen or if it's everyone's, but it doesn't seem like this invitation is clear. I think we've had this problem in the past, but I think it's because I'm logging onto it remotely. Anyway, I went out and purchased these invitations personally in the supermarket this morning, so I could show you how simple this is. You go out and I bought a packet of them in the grocery store of 10 or 12 for like $8. That's what you want to do. And so we almost messed this up. My staff just did one recently, and they created a beautiful invitation digitally. But you know what? It loses a lot of the pizzazz. And it was an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and it loses some of the pizzazz. Part of the success of this marketing event is the dog and pony show. You and as we go along, I give you the script and I show you how we position ourselves. It's true, it's genuine, and it lends itself to better attendance at the event. Okay, so this is the invitation. It just says simply, you're invited. It says to, date, time, and place. Now, I couldn't find the invitations I really like. I like ones that open up. This one was a one-piece card that says you're invited and has those listed there. Ideally, what I would like to do is have the you're invited on the outside of the card. You open it up, and inside it says to, date, time, and place. So this was the best I could find at 7:30 this morning because I wanted to make sure I got a good example that we could upload. But as you can see, it works. Now, the key, another tip to making this work properly, as you can see, I wrote to John, the date of 6/12/18. I put down Tuesday, 6:30 sharp. That sharp's important. And in the script, I'm going to tell John that we start right at 6:30. Make sure you're there. It's a limited amount of time that we have to have this room, so we start right there. So please get there on time. Now I put the place, Bonefish Grill. Now Bonefish is a chain across the country, and it's upscale. And it's a cool place. It's a cool place. It's one of those places that people go, oh, cool, Bonefish. I like Bonefish. So it's got a little bit of a wow factor. And it's definitely a place that would be willing to work with you at an $18.95 meal to get you in. Now, the one thing I don't like about Bonefish is you're looking for a restaurant that has a private room as best as possible. And there's an upside to that and a downside. The upside is that you will be able to control the room, meaning that there's no outside influence from other waiters, other patrons, distracting your audience or you. That's the upside. You want to have a private room so you can control the flow of traffic when they bring the meals, and I'll go into that in a second as well. Right now, it's all setup phase, and I'll talk about delivery when we get there. The upside to doing in a restaurant like Bonefish that does not have a private room, at least the ones that I've been to, is they can set off like Bonefish, for instance. They have a restaurant. I think they're all like this, where you walk in and it's separated down the middle by a makeshift wall, and the left side or have booths and high tops alongside the bar, and the other side is the main dining room that also has booths and tables, not high tops. And the right side, the dining room, is a little larger than the left side. What they can do at Bonefish is they can give you like a back area where they put a long table together, and everybody's sitting down that table. Now, the upside of not having a private room is that other patrons will be listening to you. And if you're able to control just your group and not be distracted and set up the tables in such a way where your audience is not distracted, meaning their backs are to the rest of the dining room, that's optimal. So the other patrons in the restaurant can see and hear you, but only see the backs of the heads of your audience. They will be listening to every word you say. And I have done that in the past, and I've actually closed new patients from people eating in the restaurant. So that's the upside. I will tell you that make sure that you are pro at this before you do that, because otherwise you will most definitely be distracted. Somebody who is not in your audience but just there to eat might give you a dirty look because you're disturbing their dinner. They might laugh at something you say, which distracts you. They might raise their hand. They might be shaking their head no or shaking their head yes. It's difficult. So you have to be very skilled at this to be able to do that. So my suggestion is you get a private room. That private room needs to hold about 40 people for everyone to be comfortable. Okay, so now you've come up with your list of patients that you want to invite. You've revised that list. You've gone out, you've bought invitations. You've spoken to a restaurant and worked out a date, a time, and a price. Now it's time to put the plan in action. You fill out the invitations like we have in front of you, and you print out. Now, picture this, and I'll show you in the next slide, like here. This is what this looks like. It's a little card. This was computer generated and added to the card, so because I'm not in the office today. But you type up so you can see it says here, it says you and guest, and it gives 3 different options. This is a chicken parm, this is a blackened salmon, and this is a bow tie pasta with veggies. RSVP date is down here. Now, I would make this very large. That would be the 82 font right in the bottom. The date, you don't have to put the year. So RSVP by a certain date. And you make the presentation like this. Now, you see they come in envelopes. That is critical. You would not think that that's so important. You think that this card alone should suffice to be a nice invite. That's a nice cardboard to give to somebody. And it is. It is. But it's not the dog and pony show of giving them an envelope that when turned over, you write their name on it, John, seal it, so that they have to open it up like a wedding invitation. That dog and pony show makes them feel like they were really invited to something nice, and that you put some time into it to hand write it in. So again, I told you my staff thought they were being cute and actually making a nicer presentation by having a digital 8.5 by 11. And then when I told them I contested that, they said, "Oh, we can make a small invite card like you want, Doc. It'll be digital, and their names would be written on there and typed." And I'm like, you know what? Unless you're going to put it in very old English calligraphy, it defeats the purpose. It is more personal when you hand it to them and it's in handwriting. I don't care if it's not your own. Let's say you're a male doctor, and it's obvious that the handwriting on the invite is a female. That's even better. It shows that you, as the doctor, made a list and included them on the list, and somebody else wrote out the invite. That you took time to really think about them. So um, I have found that handwriting it has more of an effect, as does having it come in an envelope with their name on it that they have to break a seal to open. Once they break the seal and they open it, they're going to pull out the invite. Now, again, I prefer to have a card that opens up, and then I would put this RSVP and meal selection inside the card. So the moment that they opened up that card, that meal selection fell into their hand. They're like, "Oh, what's this?" And this is how you do this. Okay, so you prepare all these invites, and then it's the day now to go out and invite your patients. Here is a script. Again, you're only inviting those patients that have had positive results in your office and have told you as such. So here's a script. I'm going to go up to John. I'm going to treat John. And as I'm getting finishing with him and on his visit for the day, I'm typically, this is the patient who is leading in saying, "Doc, I can't thank you so much." If they don't, and then I go, "John, actually, I can't thank you enough. I love treating you. I know you keep telling me, we changed your life, and you know what? That's my purpose, and it warms my heart every time I hear you say it. But really, John, I want to thank you because, frankly, I wish all my patients were like you. I wish all my patients followed my recommendations to a T like you have, because then they get the results that you have experienced, and then it's a win-win for everybody. But you make it easy, John. I have to fight with some patients to be able to give them the results that they want. And frankly, John, I wish I could fill my practice with 100 Johns. On that note, I want to, one, and I whip out the invitation. I want to congratulate you, and I want to invite you to dinner. What, Doc? Well, I chose a number of my patients that I love just like I love you, John. And I want to roast them. I want to congratulate them on their success and being part of our family. And John, you've done so well here. Um, I want to invite you to dinner. Oh my gosh, Doc, so much. Thanks so much. But John, hold on. I'm also going to ask you to help me help another person. John, I know you know that my mission and purpose is to help as many people as possible avoid unnecessary surgery and unnecessary medication. And John, when you came to me with your headaches, you were a little, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe a little skeptical as to whether or not I was going to be able to help you. Oh, Doc, don't take it personally. No one had been able to help me. Yes, I know. But John, also, did you know that chiropractic or acupuncture actually helps with headaches? No, Doc, I didn't. And I'm like, exactly, John, that's my point. There's a lot of people out there still that I can help, like you, that don't know I can. So what I'm asking of you is to help me in my purpose to help other people so that we can help someone that you love together. Help me find somebody who's got similar type pains, or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's numbness and tingling in their feet. And I don't know if you even know that I can help that, John, but there's a lot of things that I can help that people don't know about. And I don't know if I can help anyone that you know. I'm just saying it's worth a chance to find out. So I would like you to bring them to dinner if you could. And, so if this patient, John, had been telling me about his wife, Mary, that he's been trying to get Mary in, and chances we've all had patients like that. We all have patients who are like, oh, I'm trying to get my brother, I'm trying to get my sister, I'm trying to get my wife, and they never come in. So I would use that opportunity to say, hey, John, you know what? You've been telling me about Mary for a long time and trying to get her in here. Yeah, Doc, I have. And I'm like, why don't you bring Mary? I think I'll be able to explain what I do better, and I'll be able to sit and talk to her and let her know if I think I can help, or if it's even worth her coming in for a consult. But why don't you bring Mary? Doc, it's a great idea. But what if John doesn't have a Mary? What if I have to help John? But John, do you know anyone that lives locally that has health problems? Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's your neighbor. I don't know. And you don't need to know if I can help them. But all I ask is that you bring somebody that you know that maybe that I can help. And John, can I count on you for that? Absolutely, Doc. I'm like, let's go help somebody together, man. And I give him a hug. That's genuine. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. John sees that I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And now I've given John a job. and his job is to go find somebody. So I ask John who that person is if it's not Mary. John, do you know anybody? I don't know, Doc. Yeah, it's my coworker. I'm like, oh yeah, what's their name? Now I love this event because the patient that you're treating, hopefully, I mean, well, you do, you know what their financial situation is, meaning that if they have insurance that you accept, chances are their spouse will too, or certainly their coworker. So you're almost, not 100%, but you're there's a high percentage that the patient that they're going to bring is going to have either similar or identical health insurance that they do, and you already know what they've got. So if you're really savvy, you can just invite those patients who got great insurance and try to get them to bring in their friends and family. Now that sounds like kind of cutthroat, but you're in the business of helping people, and you want to help those people that have finances that make it easy for you to help them. The one major hurdle to helping people who need your help are the finances. So if you know the finances are going to be taken care of with anybody that they bring in, you got one leg up to making a successful relationship like you have with John. So that's the script for inviting them. Now, as John opens up the invite and the meal selection falls out, you say, and you've told John the purpose of this meal. You know what? I haven't even discussed what we're speaking about. Realize it doesn't really matter. But I'll tell you in a second what my topic is when we get to that part. Because it works well. It's very easy. People love it, and it's to the point. So at this point, you say, John opens up the invite. The meal selection falls out of the card. And he said, oh, what's this? He's like, oh, so John, see, we're having so many people come to the restaurant. The restaurant has requested of us that we let them know beforehand what meals we're ordering, so we're not a disturbance to the rest of their evening crowd. So that's the one stipulation. I need to call in how many people are coming, for sure, and how many meals to make, and which meals to make. So if it's okay with you, John, I want you to go home, talk to Mary, find out if she can make it. The RSVP date is the Thursday, so we're doing it a Tuesday. So the RSVP date is the 7th of June. Wait a second. What did I have on the invite here? Point is, if the lecture is on a Tuesday, you want the RSVP to be, it says June, I can't even read it, it's too small. So if the lecture is on a Tuesday, you want the RSVP day to be on the Thursday prior. So how many people do you think RSVP? Very few. You have to make phone calls. So you have to make sure that someone has had it to call up, and you start calling on Wednesday when the RSVP date is Thursday. And you call John, you say, hey, John, it's Mary. No, I'm sorry. It's Christy from Dr. Rogers' office. I'm calling to find out if you and a guest are coming to dinner tomorrow. Dr. Raj wanted me to call you. The RSVP date is not until tomorrow, but we haven't heard from you. So I'm just giving you a reminder phone call. We're really hoping that you come, John. And we wanted to congratulate you on your care here. And, you're part of our family. So anyway, just give me a call back when you get a chance, or shoot me a text. Let me not only know if you're coming, but who you're bringing, not if you're bringing someone, but who you're bringing, and what meals you would like for us to choose for you. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you later. And you're going to have to call everybody who has an RSVP. And frankly, maybe 5% of people remember an RSVP to you. Now, it's the job of the providers after these invites are handed out on every visit. After the invitation is handed out, to remind them, hey, John, were you able to talk to Mary about dinner? Oh, you know what? I did. She's going to have to check and get back to me. Okay, listen, don't forget the RSVP date is next Thursday. Okay, cool. No problems, Dr. Raj. John, I hope you can come, man. I really want to meet Mary. Do you think it would help if I call her, or is that I'm going to be stalking her? No, it's okay, Doc. I'll get back to you. Okay, cool. So that's your provider's job while they're in the room leading up to the dinner. And it takes a village. It's a team effort. If you had only one person with this, it loses its effectiveness. You want the front desk saying, congratulations, you rock, you're part of our family. You coming? The more people that are touching John and asking John if he's coming, the more he's going to feel like, I can't miss this. Everybody's on board. Everybody's going to be there. It's going to be fun. So that will determine your success. So going back, John, make sure that you just let me know. Okay, very good. Give him the hug and thank him for everything. Okay, so you made your RSVP phone calls on Wednesday. You got in touch with a number of people. You didn't get in touch with everybody. So now, of the 20 people that you've invited, you've gotten in touch with 8, all of which are bringing actually, let's say you got in touch with 10. 8 are bringing a guest, 2 aren't. They haven't found anybody. Oh, you know what? I couldn't find anybody to bring. You don't want to say, okay, you can't come. You're congratulating them on the success of their treatment and welcome them to your family. So, oh, John, what a bummer. I know Dr. Raj was really looking forward to I think it was your wife, Mary, he told me. Oh, yeah, okay. Are we ever going does Mary exist, John, or are you making her up? I'm just kidding. Okay, well, listen, we're happy to have you. We're looking forward to seeing you. And if anything should come up, or if you could think of anybody else that you'd like to bring, other than Mary, a coworker, a relative, then please bring them along, but please let me know. Okay, great, John, we'll see you then. So now it's Thursday, and you have to call the other 10 people that you've invited, but you have not been able to get in touch with. So on Wednesday, you left a voicemail. And a text, by the way. In today's society, you text and let them know, hey, John, just left you a voicemail. Sorry I didn't reach you. Just shoot me a text. Want to remind you tomorrow's the RSVP date. Dr. Raj is like giddy. Can't wait to meet Mary. I hope you bring her. Let me know. Talk to you soon. So let's say it's Thursday. You haven't heard back. You're going to call again and leave a message. And then you're going to text again. And be like, we have to know by today, please, please, please. So typically, they will either get back to you and say yay or nay at that point. And if they haven't returned your phone calls, it may be a nay. But you've already got 10 people to say yes, or 10 people to say yes, 8 are bringing guests. That's 16, that's 18. You're okay. So now you're just working on Thursday, the actual RSVP date, on getting in touch with the other 10. Come hell or high water. You are blowing up phones. And if they answer like, oh my God, what? Oh my gosh, John, I am so sorry to blow up your phone that way. I just need to know. Doc's on me because the restaurant needs to know. And I would hate for you to want to come and then we don't have a place for you. John, I'm so sorry. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I get it. No, I'm sorry. I can't come. Oh, John, damn it. I was upset. I was thinking that maybe that was the reason why I didn't hear back from you. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, well, maybe we can do it the next time. We do these every once in a while when we have extraordinary patients like you, and enough of them to really do that dinner celebration. But it's okay, man. Listen, if anything should change, please let me know. So you're keeping a list of those 20 initial people that you've decided to invite. You leave a space next to their name, with a category written at the top next to their name, guest. So you can write down after you invite them who they're thinking of bringing. So next to John's name, it would have said wife, Mary. And then you would have had the RSVP with a yay or a nay in the next column. And you're good to go. So after Thursday, and by the way, you don't really need to call this in probably until Monday to give the restaurant a heads up. Some restaurants are closed on Monday, so you'd have to let them know on Friday or Tuesday morning. But really, you let them know the RSVP date so many days in advance just to get your ducks in a row to figure out how many people you got. And if you have time, you can invite some last-minute people. Hey, Dr. Raj, I heard you're having a dinner. Oh, my gosh. Did you not? Oh, wait, you came to the last one. Yeah, but I would like to come to another one. Okay, great. You want to bring somebody? You know, my mission is to help as many people as possible, and you and I together should change your life. Okay, yeah, great. You know what? I don't. Well, then you can't come to dinner. No, I'm just kidding. Of course you can come to dinner. You're part of our family. You're welcome to. But now he also realizes that he's almost like a freeloader. So he's gonna, if he loves us truly, he's gonna try to find somebody. And if he doesn't, I'm not going to beat him up about it. We have patients that with us for a long time. I change the topic of the dinner lecture every year, every lecture rather, um, for the most part. Um, and maybe he wants some more information, and I'm happy to give it to him. That's my job. So now I've got my it's all set. We're good to go. It's Tuesday. We go into the restaurant and we get there early. If it starts at 6:30, we're there by 5:30. We're talking to our waiter or waitress who's going to be handling our back room. And you're very specific as to when you want this food coming out. First, let's talk about table setup. You want, if you can, if possible, you want to get the table set up in a horseshoe so that you're in the middle of the horseshoe. Now, not all restaurants can do that. So you want everybody facing in the same direction if possible. You don't want a round table where you have you're talking to somebody's back, because then it's difficult. They're always turning their heads to try to see you. They feel uncomfortable. Everyone's looking at them because they're looking through them to look at you. So inevitably, they end up turning their chair around. But then they can't eat. And they're not going to be eating their dinner while you're speaking. They're only going to be eating their soup and appetizer, or soup or salad rather. So we could talk about that, how that's going to go. So it's first with room setup. You don't want booths. We made the mistake. We had a dinner lecture once where 60 people showed up. We couldn't believe it. Like, holy moly. But you know what? I didn't do so well. My conversion rate went down because there's too many people in the room. We had one party in a back right-hand booth having their own party and getting loud, and I had to talk over them until I had one of my staff go back and say, hey, keep it down. You got to be listening to Dr. Raj. I'm buying them dinner, for Christ's sakes. But it got out of control. It's too many people. So room setup is very important. If you have people in a back right-hand booth who can't see you, of course they're going to get rowdy and riled up and have their own little party. Even though they can hear you, they're out of sight. All of a sudden, they become that class clown hiding in the corner. So you want to be able to have the room set up to your advantage. Tables are great, and I'm not to say booths aren't good. If you could have booths on either side of you and you're walking down the middle in between the booths talking to people, that's cool too. You'll have your back to some people at some times, but you'll be turning constantly and you'll be keeping their attention. How to maintain a room comes with how to deliver a lecture, and that's a different topic today. But you want to make sure that the room is set up properly. Okay, so then you're going to tell the waitress or waiter that you want people to give you their order. So they're going to be walking around asking people what they're ordering. What did you have? Did you have the chicken? Did you have the beef? Did you have the did you have the chicken? Did you have the salmon? Or did you have the pasta? And they will tell them. They will also ask, do you want soup or salad? And they'll put in their order for soup or salad. Okay, great. So as people are filling into the room and getting their seats, the waiter or waitress is on them like white on rice, like they'll put in your orders. Okay, great. Once everybody is there, so the waiter and waitresses are going out and starting to prepare the number of soups and salads that were just ordered. And they're going to bring them out right at 6:30, right when you're about to start. You know what? You may want to wait a couple of minutes. There's always some late stragglers. So you start around 6:40. Between 6:40 and 6:45, people start getting a little antsy, especially if they're there on time or early. And they've already put in their orders. They might have a drink in front of them, but they don't have their soup or salad. So once you're confident that everybody's there, and how do you know that? Because you're looking at your attendance list. And inevitably, there'll be somebody who doesn't show up. Don't get mad at them. There's usually extenuating circumstances for that. The show rate for the dinner lecture is typically 100%, 90 to 100%. It rocks. So you might have 2 to 4 people at 6:35 that haven't gotten there yet. So you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to get started. You inform the waiter or waitress that you're waiting on 4 people, and you tell them this before you begin, and that should they show up, please nab them at the entry of the door. Ask them what they want so they're not disturbing you once they sit down. for the waiter or waitress to come over and say, okay, what, blah, 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 because that's very disturbing once you've begun. And that's it. So they're going to bring in the soup or salad, right at 6:40. You're going to not start speaking until everybody has that in front of them. And then you're going to do your introduction while they're eating the soup and salad. That's the only time and the last time that they will be eating while you're speaking, through your introduction. And it's okay. They don't need to do anything. They're not actually learning anything. They will be engaged because you're speaking about personal matters, meaning, so what is that introduction? I'm like, hi, I'm Dr. Raj. I'm the owner of Soul Focus Wellness Center. I want to thank you for being here. And I want to thank the person who's brought you there, because they obviously care a good deal about you to bring you here, because we love our patients. We have tremendous success with our patients. My mission has always been to help as many people as possible avoid unnecessary medicine, like opioids. We have an opioid crisis. I've been screaming about this for 22 years. People are starting to listen to me. And to prevent people from having unnecessary surgery. And I'm a local guy. I went to such and such a high school. I graduated in such and such a year, which makes me old. I went to chiropractic school in Life Chiropractic, now Life University in Atlanta, Georgia. Had a blast, but I also learned a couple of things. Not everything I needed to learn. So when I graduated chiropractic school, I came back to the state where I grew up in. I was initially working down in South Jersey. Then I came back home. I had an opportunity to come back here to serve the community that I grew up in. Nothing made me happier, and of course my Jewish mother. And I started helping people here. So I started Garden State Spine and Pain Institute back in 2003. Helped a lot of people. Then I got this crazy idea that I wanted to do further. I wanted to help people with the complete wellness package. And today, I'm going to show you guys my secrets, 5 aspects of life on how to achieve maximum productivity, maximum energy, and the ultimate health and wellness that you can achieve. These are my personal secrets. They've helped me. Another personal fact is back in 2006, I lost 65 pounds and totally changed my life. And I'll tell them how prior to that, I never went to a gym. I didn't even like people named Jim. And now I own a gym. I changed my life for the better. And, since then I've built this wellness center. I've written books. I've been published in New York Daily News. And I've been on Fox News Radio. So I add to the legitimacy of what they're about to hear. Right about at the end of my introduction, they are finishing their super salad. Now I go into, so the presentation that I deliver is something that I invented called DREAM, DREAM. And what DREAM is an acronym for 5 different aspects of life that, if well maintained, they achieve 100% output. So after I go through each letter, D stands for diet, R stands for rest, E stands for exercise. I skip the A, and I go to M for mental attitude. And then I go back to the A and I explain adjustment and nervous system and Christopher Reeve and how everything works, which is on a previous webinar. And I tell them to give themselves a score as I go through each letter on a scale from 0 to 20, 20 being the best, on how they do on each letter. How is your diet? And I describe to them what their diet should look like, and then give yourself a score. Ideally, if they score a 20 on each category, they have 100. It's 100 out of 100. It's a test. But more often than not, people score between 40 and 60 on this test. So it helps for the close when I ruin them and fear of worsening them, that this is not the way to live your life. If it's a chemistry test, great, you can retake it, and then you're never going to see chemistry again. This stuff you're going to be confronting and fighting your whole life. This is a life test. So what score is okay for you? I'm going to tell you it's not a C. And it's probably not a B. Everybody should strive for an A. So the greatest thing about DREAM is you can look at your lowest number. You can figure out what you need to work on. Let's say it's the D, which is diet. Soul Focus has fires in all 5 cylinders. So whatever letter you are the lowest in, we have something to help improve you there. So that's the lecture that I give. And that's really inconsequential because you can give it on arthritis, you can give it on chiropractic, you can give it on acupuncture, you can give it on the three reasons why we feel that there's health problems in the United States, which is trauma, the body breaks down in stress, and nutrition. Whatever you want, you can give the lecture on. Just keep it short. Keep it to 20, 30 minutes tops. And at the end, you're going to do the close like you would close any other lecture. I'm here to offer everybody here who's a guest the opportunity to come in and see if we can help them. It's a complimentary consultation. And frankly, the person sitting next to you who's elbowing you in the ribs right now cares about you enough to want you to come in to see if we can help you. And I don't know if I can help you. I'm just saying it's worth a chance to find out. There's 4 reasons why you should come in. 1, more than likely, if you do nothing, your pain or problem will get worse. 2, if I can help you, I'm going to change your life for the better like I did to the person next to you, and that's what life's all about. That's why you're here. 3rd, I'm not going to waste your time and your money. If I can help you, I can. And if I can, I'm going to send you to somebody who can. And 4th, it's free. It's your time, my time. Let's see if we can help. I want to thank you for being here tonight. I want you to thank right now the person next to you who brought you here. And I hope to see you in the future. Health and Wellness, Dr. Raj, Soul Focus. Thanks so much. I don't even need to tell them what to do to sign up. The moment that I say my last word, the waiter and waitress know that it's okay to deliver the meals. Now, you keep the lecture to 20 or 30 minutes because people are getting hungry and they're getting antsy. They want to eat. You don't have them deliver the meals because once the meals come in, people, can you bring me ketchup? Oh my gosh, this is not right. It's crazy. No one will be listening to you. And if there's distractions, people will be listening to the distractions. I've messed this up. Take it from me. Do not bring out food until you're done talking. The second reason why you don't let them bring out the food until you're done talking is if they're eating while you're speaking, by the time you're done, so are they, and they're gone. You want the opportunity to speak to them while they're eating, to close them. So if the meals don't come until you're done speaking, frankly, at this point, the doctor can leave. The doctor can also actually go around and speak to individuals. Like I would sit down and talk to Mary. Mary, oh my God, I thought you were a figment of John's imagination. No, really, she's been telling me so much. Listen, what's going on with you? Can I help? Close Mary. So the doc can really help. But if you have a trained marketing staff, they're going to each table. They're sitting down. They already know the people that they're talking, the patients. So they're sit down. And boom, you sign them all up. But you must make sure that they are still there when you're done. And that's why the food doesn't come until afterwards. And that, my friends, is a dinner lecture. You will close. So let's say in my example, I had 8 guests. I'll close all 8. Our last dinner lecture, those are exact numbers. And we did it 2 weeks ago. So we got 8 new patients. We had 8 guests that show up. We closed 8. You show me another marketing event that can give you that rate of return. It's loaded. The person next to them is trying to sign them up too, for you. And like I said earlier, it's the likelihood that they have the same insurance as your patient. It's a win-win-win, and it's a home run. So I'm doing personal consulting with a number of offices. This is the first thing I do. I walk in, I'm like, okay, in conjunction with 4-day report and revamping people's consults, the first thing I tell them to do is dinner lecture because it boosts up their numbers immediately. So you want to plan this out, like I said, 4 weeks in advance because it takes a little time. Especially if you haven't done it before, find the right restaurant, get the right invites, get that list down of the patients that you want to invite, and then actually writing out the invites, handing them out, doing the RSVP. It takes a little while, but it's easy, it's fun, and it's a winner. So that is it. I am Dr. Raj signing off for this week's webinar. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's dear to me, dear to my heart, and hopefully it can help you the way it's helped me. Okay. Again, this is Dr. Raj signing off.